Have you ever wondered what really drives our decisions? Why we want the things we want? Well, today we're going on a guided tour of some of the latest breakthroughs in behavioral neuroscience. It's all based on a fantastic collection of research curated in an editorial from the journal Frontiers in Behavioral Neuroscience. And who are our guides on this tour? Think of them as expert curators: Marcita Calupi, Elio Aquafiris, and Liana Fattore. They're the ones who put this whole collection together, giving us a really clear snapshot of a field that's moving super fast and helping us understand what makes us tick.
And their goal is crystal clear. They're trying to shine a light on the deep mechanics of our minds. We're talking about getting to the very core of why we do what we do. And that's a big deal, because it has huge implications for pretty much everything, from our mental health to public policy.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with 3 brand new discoveries straight from the research front lines. Then we'll zoom out to see the bigger picture, and finally we'll connect all the dots to really understand why this all matters so much.
Okay, first up, let's dive right into the original research. Our curators picked out 3 specific new studies, and each one gives us a fresh, really specific insight into how motivation and reward actually work. This is the cutting-edge stuff, where new knowledge is literally being made.
Our first discovery is all about the surprising link between stress and performance. And get this, the researchers, Bessa and their team, didn't study humans for this. They studied Siamese fighting fish. Yeah, you heard that right. And it turns out these little guys and their complex behaviors can teach us a ton about our own brains.
And what they found is just a classic Goldilocks story. When the fish had really low or really high levels of the stress hormone cortisol, they were pretty bad at finding food. But the fish with the medium amount, not too much, not too little, they were the star performers. So it seems a little bit of stress can actually be the secret sauce for peak performance.
So, just to sum this one up, the relationship between stress and performance isn't a straight line. It's more of a curve. Too little or too much stress gets in the way, but that sweet spot in the middle is where the magic happens. It suggests that for our brains to really work at their best, we need to find that perfect Goldilocks zone.
All right, on to our second discovery. This one, from a study by Abella and colleagues, tackles a really common scenario for teenagers: mixing alcohol, nicotine, and cannabis. The big question they were asking was, does what seems like a typical weekend activity have effects that stick around for a lot longer than just the weekend?
Using rats as a model, they found that, being exposed to all 3 of those substances during adolescence led to long-term learning problems. But here's the real kicker, and it's a crucial one. The effects were different depending on gender. This is so important because it means the impact on a developing brain isn't a one-size-fits-all problem. It affects males and females differently, a vital detail for understanding risk.
Now for the third study. This one, by Aslam and colleagues, went into full-on big data mode. They took an absolutely massive data set from the Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance System to see if they could find hidden patterns or profiles of risk-taking behavior among teenagers.
And check this out. This is what's so interesting. The analysis didn't just find one big at-risk group. No way. As you can see here, it pinpointed 5 totally distinct groups. You have a large low-risk group, sure, but then you have these very specific profiles for things like depressive symptoms or polysubstance use. It's so much more useful than just a single label.
Okay, so we've been looking at things under a microscope with those 3 ground-level discoveries. Now, it's time to zoom out. Our curators also picked 3 review articles that help us map out the broader landscape and connect these individual studies to the wider world of neuroscience.
The first review is all about neuroimaging. We're talking about technology like fMRI that lets scientists literally watch the brain in action. They can see which parts light up when we're expecting a reward, like our dopamine system, which is basically the brain's main motivation engine. It's like having a direct window into what drives us.
Next up, a review that dives into something with a pretty complex name, the endocannabinoidome. I know, it's a mouthful, but you can just think of it as this huge, body-wide signaling network. And we're learning that this network has a massive influence on our reward pathways, making it absolutely key to understanding both healthy behaviors and many psychiatric disorders.
And finally, the third review brings it all back to the real world. It asks the question, so what? What can we actually do with all this science? It explores practical techniques like nudging or boosting, clever strategies designed to use what we know about motivation to help all of us make healthier choices.
So, we've seen the tiny puzzle pieces and the big picture on the box. But what's the ultimate takeaway here?
Why did our curators bring all of these different studies together? Well, it's all about building a foundation for what comes next. And this is really the heart of it. This collection isn't just a summary of what we know. It's meant to be a catalyst, a launch pad for the future. The whole point is to spark new questions, to encourage funding for this vital work, and to guide the next generation of studies. And crucially, it's a call for collaboration, to get everyone, biologists, doctors, psychiatrists, all working together.
Which leaves us with this final, really powerful question. As our map of the brain's motivation and reward systems gets more and more detailed, the real challenge begins. How do we take this incredible knowledge and use it wisely, ethically, and effectively to help build a better world for everyone? That's the question this research really pushes us all to answer.